How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins this week. And yeah, from now on, the lists are going to be a little bit smaller. It's just been so much stuff, and it just has to be scrutinized a lot more. And it's going to be one of those things where we're really going to be looking more for skins that have that extra detail, that extra something. Don't paint over parts of a gun or details and stuff like that. Really go into it. So yeah, you know, and or just something that just really catches the eye. It's so hard, guys. You have no idea how hard it is going through hundreds of skins each week and trying to narrow it down to a reasonable list. So if you feel like you got missed, always feel free to send a polite message to me, please, and see if I may have made a mistake, because that is possible. So anyways, moving on, we've got the dinosaur head wrap by Cubist here, and ooh, that's a little too close. You can see we've got this cool little dinosaur eye and so forth, and yeah, it just has the same humor as the shark one, and yeah, it's just one of those things. On the humor side, I feel a lot of people could really enjoy. Next up, we've got a hoodie and pants set for you. This is the Night Runner set. And yeah, you can see it has kind of like a nice gray tones kind of coloring to it. A little bit of kind of gray blue going on there. And some gray black. And yeah, it's just a really nice kind of mix of like stealthy colors. I can see a lot of people liking this. There's a little skull in there, but it's not super prominent. It doesn't, you know, take up everything. And yeah, there's just a lot of different little details and so forth. And I can see a lot of people liking it for that kind of shadowy kind of design. Next, we've got the bombing hoodie and pants, and they did something a little different. They reversed the colors here. It is actually white instead of black. We'll have to see how it is liked by everyone. What do you guys think? Would you rather see a black hoodie and pants set from the bombing to match the guns, or do you like this kind of reversed color for the clothing? For me, I think it kind of fits. I actually kind of like the reverse for the clothing, so we'll just have to see. And then here on the back, it's got a really amazing skull gas mask, you know, guy going on. Definitely very, very cool design. Next up, we've got the Forest Raiders road sign gloves and boots. And so for the road sign gloves, it's almost kind of hard to tell the road sign gloves. You know, it doesn't have like the protruding pieces. It looks more like cloth with all the cloth put over it and so forth. It's definitely a very nice design and is very well at helping you blend in. This whole set together, just you absolutely disappear in forest bushes. One way or another, all the straps you can usually expect from the set are here. Definitely a nice addition to finishing up the clothing part. Next up, we've got a road sign set with some crazy colors for you. This is the Radioactive set by Robstar. And yeah, this whole thing just has this kind of, there's like this metal kind of underneath, and then it just has whatever this yellow stuff is stretched over. It looks like maybe old, like hazmat tape or maybe caution tape or something of a similar material, maybe like a biohazard suit, something like that. And then there's just all this nasty, toxic dripping out of it, especially out of the, you know, mouthpiece or rebreather, or whatever you want to call that there on the front. Definitely very cool design. Lots of attention to detail here, which makes this a very unique looking set. And a lot of people are going to ask, does this thing glow? And well, it wouldn't be very advantageous as armor, so it doesn't. It's just a very bright looking set. Last but not least, we've got this very mean looking set, which is the Lord set by Johnny Oldboy. And man, this thing has a very flat matted black, which really accentuates this detailed golden kind of like rib cage and skull and design on it. And I think it looks really good. And then the straps actually being two rope straps is quite cool. Go ahead and look in the back. You can really just see how that matted black really makes the gold pop. And then if we take a better look around here, you can see there's just this beautiful design around it. Definitely something that has a very simplistic but very popping look to it, and that's what really makes the gold detailed area look so nice. And you can see the kind of like, you know, skull pattern there with the fine line details. Definitely very cool looking. Next up, we've got our deployables, starting with a sleeping bag with a goofy fun look to it. It is the Shark Cosplay sleeping bag from Milo. And yeah, as you can see, it's got a little inflatable thing for both the pillow and the actual floaty bed to itself. Definitely cool how it looks like a little pool floaty. It has some wet marks on it as well. Almost looks like it actually just has fresh drops of water on it. Next, we've got a, I don't know what's going on there, a furnace for you. And this one is quite cool looking. This one is the Meteorite Furnace by La Crempe, and the whole thing just has this carved meteor design to it. Looks really, really cool. It very irony and heavy kind of look to it. Definitely a very cool design. Next over here, we've got another labeled small box for you. This is a continuation in the vintage set with the vintage fuel box. So as you can see, it says fuel there, keep your goodies safe. Gotta love that. Cobalt Company, always good when they implement some lore to it. And this one, of course, does have a little bit of a glow version as well, so we'll be sure to show that. Speaking of glow, we've got a glowing box here for you. This is the Glow Box Explosive by Red Rex, if you couldn't tell by the C4 rockets and the words explosive on it. Definitely a nice design. Moving along, we've got the subby box for you. I almost said shippy because, well, it's the continuation of that, but for the submarines. And you can see some sharks and fish swimming around there in the green part of the design. Definitely quite cool. Nice addition to the set. Moving on to some more things from sets, we've got a continuation in the supply crate set with the armor supply crate. And there are two different colored versions. I decided the blue one, I think, contrasts the best. But who knows how it might feel the other way, or maybe you will as well. Everyone's different. So both are in the list in the description down below in the video. So a lot of people miss that always. You can always check out all the skins and their alternate versions in my video description. There will always be a link. Moving on, we've got a vending machine, something we haven't seen for a while, and this one is the hacked vending machine. It says 24/7 shop, and yeah, it's just got all sorts of little designs going on here. And then on the side, there's like an AK and a metal face mask, but they get cut up by the wall. I don't know if it would have maybe paid off better to have moved the text and everything forward, or maybe do it split up and smaller on both sides. I don't know. That's the one thing there. Definitely love the do not open back here with the AK on the screen. Definitely looks very nice. Moving along, we've got a continuation in the submarine doors with the mixed submarine doors by M Demon. This does have a glow just like the single door, so we'll be sure to show you that, which it is quite nice. Speaking of glowing double doors, we've got what looks like it could be the start to a new set. This is the boat station double door by Jessen. And yeah, it's just got this really kind of new tech look to it that is quite nice. Lots of details to it, and it does even still look pieced together. There's, you know, a lot of chain link fence kind of pieces and, you know, riveted on metal and so forth. Definitely something that I feel a lot of people who like the kind of bright, more newer looking stuff would really appreciate. Speaking of crazy looking new age stuff, look at this thing. This is the Toxic Metal Door by Dukes. And man, this thing looks like it's a trap rigged to go. And it makes me wish we could set up kind of traps or something in Rust like this. One way or another, it's definitely a very well sculpted door, very creative, and lots of cool details have gone into it. Next, we've got a couple of garage doors for you. Not a loot room. You gotta love that, you know. I can see a lot of people wanting to use this. It's just, it's funny. You gotta love it. It just fits. Next over here, we've got a carved out little guy for you. This is the Little Devil garage door by Fora. And yeah, you've got your own like demon goat and all sorts of stuff going on there with the words Little Devil. Definitely a nice little graffiti style to go along with the art. Last but not least, we've got the single armor door version of the Outer Planet set. And it just looks really nice. I really like this kind of, you know, grid on the actual hatch there. It looks quite nice. And then you've got the same nice mix of colors. And on the back, you've got kind of like the electrical, which I think looks really nice as well. Definitely looks quite nice. Let's go ahead and hit the lights and see the glow of all of these. Lights. Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. There's the moon and Saturn. And the sun and Saturn. Over here we've got the not a loot room. Now the only thing I'd have to say, the glow on this is way too much. That's my one major criticism here. The glow should only be maybe the green like tubes maybe, and then some highlights here and there, like maybe the corners and stuff. But yeah, they're just a little too bright. It kind of takes away from it, makes it look really flat. Over here, you can see it's definitely much better when you do little highlights and so forth. It can really accentuate the design. This one mostly still glows blue, but it's not just one blue. You have light sources and so forth, where this just doesn't, you know. And so that's kind of the difference I'm speaking of there. And speaking of light sources, man, just look at that. Absolutely beautiful glow. And then here's that vending machine. And like I said, it's just such a shame it kind of got cut off. But that's an easy design fix, I feel like. And then down here, we can sail to a few boxes. We've got our first little box right here. There's that C4. And then that beautiful glow to the words fuel. Look at that. Love that old western-y kind of feel. It's absolutely cool. And lastly, we have the furnace. Look at that. Very, very cool how it kind of like peeks through. Alright, so let's jump into those tools and weapons, starting out with this juicy looking orange. Look at that. This rock is done so well. You can, like, I feel like you can feel the pores of the fruit. They did such a good job on it. And yeah, it's just absolutely awesome looking design. Plus, you got that little cobalt fruit stuck in there too. Next, we've got a crazy bow and hammer. It's just screaming to, I don't even know what. It's terrifying. This is the Monster Club by Vase. And yeah, look, it even has toenails. This thing is freaky. Next, we've got a very cool looking hatchet and pickaxe for you. This is the Frozen Drake set by Little Ranger, and the carving on this is just absolutely beautiful. I love the kind of like armored steel on the grip against the kind of dragon scale, and then you've got that ice piece to kind of finish out the front of the hatchet without distorting the front of the dragon. Very creative, and I think this is just a beautiful set. And then you can see here on the pick, same thing, follows that design very beautifully. The armor goes on both sides of the grip, which I think looks quite nice as well. And then you've got quite a bit of ice down there at the bottom and on the tips. Definitely very, very well done. Next, we've got a crossy for you, and this one is a little bit more on the sillier side. This is the Eagle Shot crossbow, and it has this kind of like a hand-painted look to it, but these beautifully like carved out and silver-painted feathers right here that definitely really accentuate the look of it. And yeah, you can kind of see the little eagle beak there at the front. Definitely a creative looking crossbow. Last in this set right here, we've got a continuing the Zen Lab set, it looks like, with the Zen Lab SAR. And this one is just, you know, one of those things that fits right into the game. It's a little bit rusty, it fits into the idea of the game. It's been customized enough to be a nice kind of clean, calm skin. Aiming down the sights there, you just got the Z and some nice iron sights. Next up, we've got a continuation in the Pixel set with the Pixel SAR. So there you have it. This one does have a glowing version where the lava actually kind of glows through, so we'll be sure to show you that. But yeah, it just kind of has these more earth tones to it, and then you got the snow on the top, very different from the rest of the set, which I think sets it apart nicely. Aiming down the sides here, you've got a purpley kind of, you know, back sights with that white tip and against the brown. It's you even got a bit of the white there on the snow on the top interfering, and yeah, it's a lot going on, but you can still kind of focus in. That white really zones you in past, which I think was done quite well. Next, we've got an MP5 for you. It's a continuation in the training set, so of course is therefore called the Training MP5. This thing has a nice kind of like, you can see that burnt tip there. It kind of has that oil, you know, effect. And then you've got the same kind of tethered cloth as the set is known for. Aiming down the sights, not too much going on, very typical there, but a rusted screw and a little attention to detail, which is always nice. And there we go. Next, we've got a sub AK for you. We got the SAR, so maybe we'll see the submarine AK. It's a continuation in the same design. Some little bigger view holes on the side of it, still all rusty to match the submarines. Aiming down the sights here, not too much going on there. Maybe a view hole or something would have been kind of cool. I don't know. You guys kind of sound off what you feel could have made the ADS a little more exciting there. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one is all sorts of wavy. This is the Metal Waves AK by Ideal. And yeah, as you can see, there's just that beautiful metal wave design. A lot of people seem to like the bow, so I could see the AK selling quite well. And that red tip always can help. Not a glowing sight, of course, because those aren't allowed, but a nice bright tip can always help sell a gun. Next, we've got an M39 for you, and it's a continuation in the Toxic Wolf set by Zinc. And yeah, it's got everything you can expect. That toxic drip all over and that bright yellow, but no glow, of course. Aiming down the sights here, you've got some of that drip coming down off the sight, and a little bit of a fade going on with the ring. Definitely quite nice addition to the set. And we don't get too many M39 skins. It'd be nice to see a very bright one make it in. Next, we've got a bolty for you, and this one has got a big old squid on it. This is the deep dive bolt action. And there are two versions, with one where it's painted over the tape on the bolty here, and one where it's clean and not. I kind of liked it where you could see more of the artwork personally, so that's why I showed this one. But if you want to see the other one, like I said, it's down there in the art. Also, skin grader, oops, you forgot the bullets. That's an easy mistake to make there, so might want to get rid of those. One way or another, definitely a very cool looking bolty. Everyone seems to like this art style so far, so I could see a lot of people wanting to grab this one. Next up, we've got some L9s for you, starting out with this one right here, which has a very robust kind of armored look to it. This is the Shadow Strike L96 by Anathan. And yeah, it has all these kind of like gold details, and then just this very kind of light gray digital camo kind of going on. And then this armored plating that just looks kind of scuffed up and so forth. It's definitely something you wouldn't expect to see. Also, on the ADS, there's actually a little bit of a design there, which I thought was quite cool. Next, we've got another L9 for you, and this one is a little more on the gold side. This is the L96 engraved by Zimik, and as you can see, it's got all sorts of kind of like gold pattern designed on it there. Aiming down the sights, there's kind of like a little of a wavy pattern, not too much going on, but definitely a unique looking L9. Next, we've got a explosive for you, and it's an air freshener. You gotta love when people go creative with stuff. This is the Lemon Fresh explosive satchel. And yeah, you just gotta love it. It's hilarious. And last but not least, we've got a continuation in the comic set with the comics rocket launcher, and effectively it says kaboom, because what else would it say, right? I mean, kaboom. It just fits, right? Aiming down the sights there's a little smiley face on the sight. It kind of looks, to be honest with you, like a smiling little Patrick from SpongeBob. I don't know. That's just what I see. All I see is Patrick now. Or a little, like, white, I don't know, like Disney ghost or something. I don't know. One way or another. Very funny. And as is tradition, we've got to load in a rocket launcher round and go shoot a tree or something. Actually, here, we're going to blow this up. Boom. We blew something up for once. So that's gonna do it, guys. That's the skins for this week. Sound off and down in the comment section below which ones you're hoping Hulk will pick the most, and why, and any kind of feedback you want to try to get to people. I'll try to get to the right people. As always, thanks for watching, stay rusty, and have a great week.